हरि ओम। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गायै नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धाविश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धाः स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरम्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगताम् अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 ॐ नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम हरि ओम। भगवान gives this beautiful teaching to Arjuna, and through Arjuna he teaches all of us. Bhagwan is the Jagat Guru. He is the Guru of the whole world. So this teaching is meant for everyone. And all of us are seeking freedom from our sorrow, and we want to attain eternal happiness. So Atyantika Dukkha Nivritti and Param Ananda Prapti. While living in this world, we want to pursue this path and attain our supreme goal. So Bhagwan gives this advice to everyone that the first step is to give up all bad karmas, give up all adharma, give up all paradharma, give up all negative qualities and values which one is holding on, and follow the path of dharma. Means follow the path of goodness, follow the path of ahimsa, satyam, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. Become a good person first. Thereafter, sincerely pursue the path of karma yoga. Dedicate yourself to Ishvara. Dedicate all your actions to Ishvara. So that will purify our antakarana. It will make us better. Then we can do some upasana also, and further purify our antakarana. Thereafter approach a teacher and gain that self-knowledge through Shravan and Mananam. And once we are very convinced about that knowledge, that I am that Brahma, I can and have enough Vairagya, we can renounce all karmas and pursue the path of Niridhyasan, Jnana Nishtha, and gain that moksha here and now while living in this world. So here in this 18th chapter, Bhagwan summarizes this teaching again, and we are seeing that in this 5 verses, from verse number 51 to 55, Bhagwan gives the step-by-step method of gaining that Jnana Nishtha. So for that, Bhagwan says, first you make your antakarana very pure. Buddhya vishuddhaya yuktaha. See, following the path of dharma, cultivating good values like amanitvam, adambhitvam, ahimsa, kshanti, arjavam, sincerely doing all our duties, doing that yajna dana tapak karma, will make our antakarana very, very pure. So, buddhya vishuddhaya yuktaha, dhrityatmanam niyamya cha, controlling the gross and the subtle body, shifting our attention from all the objects of this world, shabdadi vishayans taktva, giving up all raga dvesha, attachment and repulsion, and then going into a secluded place, vivikta sevi, eating only minimum just to maintain the body, again having control over our speech, over our body, over the mind. Bhagwan says you practice the dhyana yoga, niridhyasan, to gain abidance in your own real self. All the time we are living in the self created by our vrittis. we are assuming ourselves to be the image. So shift your attention from the image to the actual self. So that practice is Dhyana Yoga, and what is required for that is Vairagyam. So Vairagyam Samapashritaha, having great Vairagya, and drop all that is binding you to this samsara, to this body, to this sukshma sharir. Give up all limitations and gain that abidance in yourself. So for that Bhagavan says, Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham parigraham vimuchya nirmamashantaha brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Constantly practice dropping ahankar. Ahankar is this false identification, false notion that I am the body, I am the senses, I am the mind. And the implication of this as I am the doer, I am the knower, I am the enjoyer, I am born, I will die, etc. All this is a wrong notion of that I. I is really that Shuddha Atma. But now I think I is the body and all this other upadhis. So to drop this notion, you don't have to drop the body. We don't have to drop the what you call indriyas or the sukshma sharir. One has to drop the false notion, false identification. That is what is called giving up this ahankar. And then balam, darpam, kamam, krodham, all the false bala which is there due to kama and raga, then darpa, that vanity, pride, because of which one does adharma. And kama, krodha also should be given up, and all possessiveness. And nirmamaha, becoming free of mamatva, no sense of I nor sense of my. See, we, like in the body, we have sense of I, that is ahankar, and sense of my, that is mamatva. Considering the body as I is ahankar, considering the body as my is mamatva. Both are false, both are wrong, but they are strong notions and we are holding on to it. So constant practice of dropping them is what is required. Emptying ourselves of all these false notions, and as we empty all this, our mind and antakarana start becoming more and more calm, peaceful, and one experiences deep sense of peace also and an inner joy. And through this constant practice, Bhagavan says, Brahma bhuyaya kalpate, one becomes fit to attain Brahma. Brahma bhuyaya kalpate, to become Brahma, to attain Brahma. So then what happens thereafter? That Bhagavan now says in the next verse number 54. Brahma bhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samas sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param. Bhagavan says ki Brahma bhutaha, when one practices what is said in the previous verses and one continuously practices to experience that Atma, then one comes to recognize, one comes to experience more and more, one comes to identify with ourself as Brahma. See, this Atma itself is Brahma. we are experiencing, Atma means this, that I, the subject. That subject, that I, the self, I am experiencing now along with the gross body, subtle body. I experience myself to be the waker, dreamer, deep sleeper. I experience myself to be the karta, bhokta, jnata. So I experience myself with respect to my upadhis. Again, to take that example, so this pot is like our gross body, and the thing inside is like the subtle body. But the Atma is the space within. The space within is the Atma, the Antaratma, the Pratyekatma, the Kshetrajna, the Jiva, the Karta, Bhokta, Jnata, all are the names of this Atma only. So there is a deep identification with this body and Sukshma Sharira. So with this practice, when we gain that knowledge from our teacher, we come to know that this Atma is Brahma. Brahma is like the space around, the infinite space. That infinite space is called Brahma, is like Brahma. And the space limited by this body-mind, or space limited by this pot, is like Atma. So that Atma, that is I, should identify with myself as Brahma. Brahma means big. Brahma means unlimited. So I should identify myself and know myself to be big, know myself to be infinite. I should drop my identification with this limitation. Constant meditation, constant thinking will make me drop this limitation and identify with that Atma, with that Brahma, myself as Brahma. My name, another name is Brahma. That Brahma itself is also called Turiyatma. So that is done by constantly meditating and shifting my attention to my real self. So the more and more I identify with that Brahma, the more and more I understand that I am pervading the whole world. The more I identify with that Brahma, I come to know that I am present in everyone. I am present in all the bodies. I am not only in this body, but I am in that other body also. I am not only in the human beings, but I am in animals, birds, plants. Just as the space comes to know that I am not only in this pot, but I am in all the pots. In fact, everything exists in me. So the more and more we meditate, the more and more we drop our littleness, and the more and more we identify with that Brahma, ourself as Brahma, ourself as large, infinite, unlimited, by dropping all limitations. That Brahma is Satyam, and this body, my senses, the Sukshma Sharir is Asatyam, constantly changing. So dropping all the changes, we have to gain abidance in that Satyam. Brahma is pure Jnanam. With the help of the Buddhi, we become the knower. In the waking, I know the world outside me. In the dream, I know the world within me. In deep sleep, I remain without the activity of knowing. Just as suppose we are sitting in the room during the day, I can see through the window outside, I can see the outer world. Then when it becomes dark outside after sunset and all, but I put on the light in my room, I can see the objects within the room. Then I switch off the light, then I don't see because there is no light. So that is like the buddhi. In the waking, the buddhi sees the outside world. In the dream, one sees the world within. And in deep sleep, one remains there without seeing anything. But that Atma is of the nature, this Atma or Brahma is of the nature of Jnanam. It is pure knowledge. So drop all this seeing, drop all limitation of the body, the mind, the senses, and remain as that infinite Atma. And infinity itself is called Anand. Where there is finitude, where there is limitation, one experiences sorrow. And when there is no limitation, we experience bliss. So Atma or that Brahma is infinite. So it is also of the nature of bliss, Anand. So constant practice of this will make us identify with that Brahma. And that is what Bhagavan says, Brahma Bhutaha, Anena Kramena Brahma Bhutaha. I experience, I gain that abidance in that understanding that I am Brahma. Means I look at the whole world as my own self. So that is what Bhagavan is telling here in this verse. So Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, and one experiences deep sense of prasannata, happiness within, because that whole limitation is dropped. All limitations goes away. One experiences deep sense of peace and happiness. So prasannata, prasannatma. So having become that Brahma means having understood ourself as Brahma, as all pervading, as Sarvatma, one experiences that great inner joy and becomes free of all sorrow and all desires. Na shochati, na kankshati. There remains no sorrow of any kind, no grief. Because grief is there when we lose something, when we think that something was belonging to me, it is lost, some death or some other loss. But when we come to know that I am that Brahma, I know that everything is within me. There is no loss, there is no death, there is nothing incomplete. I am that complete Brahma. Na shochati, na kankshati, and there remains no desire also. Because a desire is also there when we have a sense of incompleteness. So there is no desire in the heart of this sadhaka then. And he looks at the whole world with the same vision, samas sarveshu bhuteshu. That samatva drishti is there towards all beings. As it was said in the 6th chapter, Atmaupamena sarvatra samam pashyati yorjuna sukham va yadi va dukkham sayogi paramo mataha. that he looks at the whole world with that samatva buddhi, just as I want happiness, all beings also want happiness. Just as I want to be free of sorrow, like that all other beings also want to be free of sorrow. So he has got this drishti towards all beings as his own self. And when he gains this vision, when that sadhaka understands himself as Brahma and looks at the whole world as his own self, that itself is called bhakti. That Brahma, which is present as the Atma of all, is that Param Atma, that Ishvara, and one sees that Ishvara, means his own supreme self, present in all, that itself is called bhakti. So here Bhagavan says, Mad Bhaktim Labhate Param. He attains that Para Bhakti. See, here one may say, Arey, he was pursuing this path of Jnanam, and suddenly Bhagavan says he attains Para Bhakti. See, this Para Bhakti and the Jnana Nishtha is same. Jnana Nishtha Lakshanaya Bhaktya. The Para Bhakti which Bhagavan is talking here and Jnana Nishtha is same. In the 7th chapter, Bhagavan talked about 4 types of bhakti devotees. In the 7th chapter, in the 16th verse of 7th chapter, Bhagavan had mentioned कि चतुर्विधा भजन्ते माम जना सुकृतिनोर्जुन आर्तो जिज्ञासुरर्थार्थी ज्ञानी च भरतर्षभ कि हे Arjuna, that 4 types of devotees, they worship me. One is those who are artha, those who have some sorrow, pain, suffering in their life, they approach me, they worship me. Then those who want something in this world, those who want some wealth, position, name, fame in this world or the other world, they approach me. Then they are the Artharthi Bhakta. Then those who want to know me, they are the Jidnyasu Bhakta. They want to know about me. And then those who come to know me, come to realize me, they are the Jnani Bhakta. So among these 4 bhaktas, Bhagavan says, Tesham Jnani Nitya Yuktaha Eka Bhaktir Vishishyate. Among all these bhaktas, the Jnani Bhakta is Vishishyate, is very special, is supreme, because Jnani Bhakta is my own self. Priyo hi Jnani Notyartham Aham Sachamama Priyaha. That Jnani Bhakta is very dear to me and I am very dear to him. So who is that Jnani Bhakta? Who sees that Ishvara alone in everything. Ishvara is that Brahma, Brahma alone he sees, and that Brahma is not different from my own self. So he sees his own self alone present in the entire world and doesn't see anything other than that Brahma. Anyasya bhajaniyasya adarsanat. Doesn't see any other thing other than Ishvara in this world. So this is called Para Bhakti. And that Para Bhakti and Jnana Nishtha is same. As we study more, it will become more clear. See what is said before as Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is to perform our actions, Kartavya Karma, and dedicate them to Ishvara. So by that karma yoga, one becomes free of all his lot of his sorrows, and also gains lot of things by Bhagwan's blessings. And this karma yoga alone leads to the teacher, and through Shravan Mananam we gain that knowledge. This path of karma yoga itself is also called bhakti. So in the beginning it is apara bhakti, bhakti at a lower level. And when we continue on this path and gain that knowledge of Ishvara, of that Brahma, then it is called para bhakti. Bhakti is not a different path. Bhakti is same, that karma yoga itself is called bhakti. And when that karma yoga concludes in jnanam, it is para bhakti. So here Bhagwan says, Shankaracharya ji writes in his commentary, कि समस्त सर्वेषु भूतेषु means what? आत्मौपम्येन सर्वेषु भूतेषु सुखम दुःखम वा समम एव पश्यति इत्यर्थः. That he sees everyone, all beings as his own self. So evam bhuto jnananishtaha, such a person has become jnananishta. That itself is called gaining firm conviction and abidance in knowledge that I am that Brahma, and I, the Brahma, is present in all as the self of all. That I, the Brahma, who is present in all as the self of all itself, is Ishvara. Because Ishvara is not different from I, that Atma. In the 13th chapter also we had seen, Bhagwan has said, Kshetrajñam chapimam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Here Arjuna understand that I am the Kshetrajña in all the kshetras. So the self in all is Ishvara alone. So one comes to recognize that Ishvara. And that recognition and complete conviction of the Ishvara's presence in all itself, that knowledge itself is called para bhakti. So evam bhuta jnana nishtaha mad bhaktim mai parmeshware bhaktim bhajanam param. Param means uttamam. Jnana lakshanam chaturthi bhakti, chaturthi labhate. This jnana lakshana bhakti is the chaturtha bhakti, that is jnana bhakti. As it was said in the shloka which I quoted from the 7th verse, Chaturvidha bhajante mam iti uktam. So through this sadhana of dropping our ahankar, balam, darpam, etc., and identifying ourself with Brahma, that is my own self, which is all pervading, means giving up my restraint of remaining only in this body, but identifying with everything, because that is what I am. The space in this pot is really the space everywhere. So when one identifies with this space and then identifies with the space everywhere, that is called becoming Brahma or gaining that para bhakti or gaining that jnana nishtha. One experiences oneself as that Brahma. Then what? How does he gain that moksha? Sitting in his body only, he looks at this whole world as expression of his own self. He looks at all the beings as his own self. So how does he gain moksha? Bhagwan says in the next verse, verse number 55. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvatah tato mam tatvato jnatva vishate tadanantaram. Bhagavan says, with this bhakti, this para bhakti, which is of the nature of jnana nishtha, means conviction, complete conviction of the jnanam. What jnanam? That I am Brahma. So with this complete conviction, when we have that I am Brahma, I see my presence in the whole world, that I alone am there in this world. That knowledge and that conviction to see myself in everyone and everything itself is called para bhakti. This is of the nature of jnana nishtha only. So Bhagavan says, with this bhakti, tato jnana lakshanaya bhaktya, with this para bhakti, what happens? Constant remaining, abiding in this para bhakti. See, here we should understand that each and every step is a big leap, is a big step. Here Bhagavan is talking about all this briefly, but one has to understand that it takes its own time and its own sadhana. So when we are able to drop our ahankar, that is, drop our limitation, drop our identification with this body, and identify with that Atma, our own real self, then we come to understand also that I am not in this body, I am in everybody. I am not limited to this body, I am the self of all. I am present in all. So that is the bhakti. So with that bhakti, Bhagavan says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvatah. Bhagavan says, with this bhakti, with the blessings of this bhakti, this seeker comes to understand me completely. Mam abhijanati, mam, that Ishvara, who is that Brahma. This sadhak comes to understand that Brahma, Ishvara completely. Mam abhijanati, abhijanati means abhitaha, from every aspect comes to understand that Ishvara. Ishvara is no longer a concept, a theory. Ishvara is directly realized by this seeker. Yavan yaschasmi tatvatah. Ishvara, as much he is and as he is, tatvatah, in essence, is recognized. See, again in the 7th chapter, there was this shloka which said that Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam vetti tatvatah. That tatvatah, Bhagavan mentions here, कि out of billions and billions of people who are walking this path, only rare few finally come to know me as I am. So when one gains this para bhakti, when one identifies with myself as Brahma, when one gains that conviction that I am Brahma, and sees the presence of that Brahma in the whole world, means sees the presence of that Ishvara alone in this world. Bhagavan says, thereafter he gains my knowledge, means proper, direct recognition of me. How? Shankaracharya ji writes, कि भक्त्या माम अभिजानाति यावान. Yavan means as much as how Bhagwan is, means aham upadhikrita vistara bhedaha. Just as this sharira, our physical body, is my upadhi. The sukshma sharir is my upadhi. My upadhi means when I am identified with this body, this is my upadhi. But when I come to know that I am Brahma, then what is this world with respect to Brahma? This world is the upadhi of that Brahma. This world is the upadhi of Ishvara. And this upadhi is expression of that Ishvara only. Ishvara Shakti, what we call Prakriti or Maya, alone is expressing as this world. So with respect to this upadhi, Bhagwan is Sarvajna, Sarvashaktiman, Sarvantaryami, what you call the Jagat Karta, Karma Phaladata. All this are there, what you call adjectives of Ishvara with respect to his upadhis. Without the upadhis, transcending the upadhis, absorbing the upadhis in himself, he is that Shuddha Brahma only. Just as I, with my upadhis, I am Karta, Bhokta, Jnata. But that Nirasta Upadhi, free from Upadhi, I am that Brahma only, Shuddha Brahma. So through this bhakti, he comes to know the Mahima of that Ishvara, his various expression with respect to the Upadhis. So Upadhikrita Vistara Bhedaha. Not only that, but he also comes to understand cha aham vidvasta sarva upadhi bhedaha, free from upadhis, that Shuddha Brahma. So he comes to recognize Brahma along with the upadhis and also free from all the upadhis. Brahma expressing through his upadhis is expressing as this world, and Brahma, when he absorbs all these upadhis, is that Shuddha Brahma, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So Shankaracharya ji, he writes further, कि Uttama Purusha Akasha Kalpaha, that Ishvara, the Tattvataha, he comes to recognize that Ishvara, that Brahma, as Uttama Purusha. In the 15th chapter also, we had seen that the name of that Brahma is also Purushottama, Uttama Purushastvanyaha. So this sadhak comes to realize that Uttama Purushaha, who is Akasha Kalpaha, who is like Akash, all pervading, pervades the entire creation, सब में है, all pervading. Tam mam advaitam, who is Advaita, one without a second. One comes to understand that other than me, nothing, no one else is there. Matta parataram nanyat kinchit asti dhananjaya. There is no one other than me. I alone am there. Everything is myself. So he recognizes that Advaita Tattva, Advaitam, Chaitanyam, which is pure Chaitanya Swarupa, pure consciousness, Chaitanya Matra, Ekarasam, which is homogeneous, same everywhere. Brahma is same everywhere. Hari Vyapak Sarvatra Samana. It's not more or less. He everywhere is same. So Ekarasam. Ajam, unborn. Ajaram, not becoming old. Brahma doesn't become old. Amaram, deathless, Abhayam, fearless, Anidhanam, deathless. Again, deathless. So that is what is called Tattvataha, means knowing that Brahma in essence. Tattvataha, Jnatva, Abhijanati. So through this Parabhakti, the sadhak comes to realize that Brahma, comes to know that I am that Brahma who is Ekam, Advitiyam, Ajaram, Amaram. So having understood, having realized, having gained that deep conviction of oneself as that Brahma, thereafter what happened? Tato mam tattvataha jnatva. He comes to understand Brahma tattvataha. In essence, there is no confusion. Means just as we are experiencing ourselves now, we think that I am this body. That same conviction a person has that I am that Brahma, free from all doubts, direct realization. So, tato mam tattvato jnatva vishate tadanantaram. Having understood Ishvara, having understood Brahma tattvataha in essence, he becomes one with that Brahma. He enters that Brahma. Means there remains no difference between the knower of Brahma and Brahma. Tattvato jnatva vishate tadanantaram. He enters Brahma. Enters Brahma means gains direct one. So here Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji, he in his commentary, he writes, here one should not think that knowing Brahma and becoming one with Brahma are two separate steps, that one gains that knowledge of Brahma and that itself makes him experience himself as Brahma. So Shankaracharya ji, he writes that when we gain this knowledge, still even after gaining knowledge, it takes some time to gain that deep conviction, that jnana nishtha. That jnana nishtha, when it happens, then with that jnana nishtha, we experience ourselves as Brahma. In the beginning, when that jnana nishtha is not there, we just have conviction that I am Brahma. But as we practice jnana nishtha, once we gain firm abidance, we gain direct realization that I am Brahma. Shankaracharya ji writes, स्वात्म उत्पत्ति परिपाक हेतु युक्तस्य प्रतिपक्ष विहीनस्य यत् आत्मानुभव निश्चय अवसानत्वं tasya nishtha shabdabhilapat. That when we gain this knowledge that I am Brahma, that conviction which we have, and when we practice dropping all the sense of limitations which we are holding on to due to our wrong notions, the more and more we drop this all false notion, the more and more we gain abidance in that knowledge that I am Brahma. And when we gain that complete abidance itself is called Brahmanubhuti. That complete abidance in myself as Brahma is that Brahmanubhuti, that jnana nishtha, and that itself gives that moksha. Shankaracharya ji further, he writes in his commentary, कि शास्त्र आचार्य उपदेशेन jnana utpatti paripaka hetum, that when we gain this knowledge that I am Brahma from the upadesh of the acharya, of the upadesh of the shastra, the teacher teaches us what is taught, what is said in our shastras, and when we gain that knowledge, but along with that knowledge we should also have purity of our antakarana. So he says sahakari karanam buddhi vishuddhyadi amanitvadi, shuddha buddhi, and all those values which were mentioned in the 13th chapter as amanitvam, adambhitvam, ahimsa, kshantirarjavam, acharyopasanam, shaucham, stairyam, atma vinigraha, all those values which we had seen in the 13th chapter. With all these values and with the chitta shuddhi and with that knowledge that I am Brahma, and constantly trying to gain abidance in that knowledge and giving up all false notion. When one practices in this way, apeksha janitasya kshetrajna paramatma ekatva jnanasya, this jnana that this kshetrajna is Paramatma, I am Atma Brahma. This Atma is actually Brahma. The space within is actually the space, all pervading space. The self which is thinking that I am only in this body is actually the all pervading Brahma alone. This is the actual fact. The self is Brahma. But our wrong notion, very strongly we hold on to this. So with constant practice this notion gets dropped. So that is the practice of jnana nishtha. So all this notion kartradi karaka bheda buddhi nibandhana sarva karma sannyasa sahitasya. So we have this notion that I am the doer, I am doing this karma, I am the knower, I know these objects. So all these notions have to be dropped. So when all these things get dropped, swatma anubhava nischaya rupena, then one gains that direct realization of myself as that Brahma and gain abidance in that nischaya. That itself is called para jnana nishtha iti uchyate. That is called param jnana nishtha. I hope you are understanding what I am saying. Bhagavan says, Shankaracharya ji further, कि सा इयम ज्ञान निष्ठा आर्तादि भक्ति त्रयापेक्षया परा चतुर्थी भक्ति इति उक्ता. So this jnana nishtha itself is called para bhakti, and compared to the three other bhakti like artha, artharti, jidnyasu bhakti, this is the best, that is the para bhakti. And taya paraya bhaktya bhagavantam tatvatah abhijanati, and with this para bhakti one comes to understand that Bhagavan, that Ishvara, that Paramatma, not theoretically but intimately. And yad anantaram eva Ishvara kshetrajna bheda buddhi asheshatah nivartate, and that bheda buddhi which we have, that thought that I am different, that Brahma is different, I am different, that Ishvara is different, I am different, this world is different. This is bheda buddhi. All this bheda buddhi gets dropped. Ataha jnana nishtha lakshanaya bhaktya mam abhijanati iti vachanam na virudhyate. Therefore, through this para bhakti, jnana nishtha bhakti, one comes to realize that Ishvara as our own self. That direct realization of Aham Brahmasmi happens. Again, little bit to say about Ishvara. See, Ishvara is indicated, Ishvara is that Brahma, Brahma is indicated as the Upadan Karan and Nimitta Karan of this world. Nimitta Karan means that Brahma alone created this world, projected this world, and Upadan Karan means the material is also Brahma. Just like if a pot is there, the Upadan is clay and the pot maker is the Nimitta Karan. So if that world is like this pot, then the pot maker as well as the clay is Brahma only. This is said very clearly in Vedanta, in all the Upanishads. See, there are certain faiths in this world. Means there are people who have different types of beliefs. So there are those who believe that Ishvara created the world. They accept Ishvara as the creator of the world. But they don't accept Ishvara as the Upadan Karan of the world. So they think Ishvara created this world just like a pot maker creates a pot. That God has created this world. But since God is not the Upadan Karan according to them, God doesn't pervade the entire world. But Upanishads say that Brahma is not only the Upadan Karan, but also Nimitta Karan. Means that Ishvara pervades this whole world. So that Brahma is my own self. So I am that Brahma. So with that conviction, when I look at this world, I know that I pervade this world, everything exists in me. And when I keep meditating, keep focusing my attention on this conviction, then I actually start experiencing myself as pervading this world, as present in all beings. So when I see my own self present in all the beings, that Sarvatma Bhav when I attain, I see the self in all, that is the Parabhakti, to see that Brahma alone as present everywhere in everyone. And through this Parabhakti, I come to realize that Brahma and directly gain the Anubhuti, Brahmanubhuti. So bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvatah tato mam tatvato nyatva vishate tadanantaram. So in this way, Bhagwan gave the complete path of this Jnana Nishtha. From verse number 51 to 55, Bhagwan said, so first we purify the buddhi, then meditate on ourself as that Brahma, try to identify with our own self, not with our image, but with our actual self. Then understand this self as Brahma. So identify with ourself as Brahma by dropping ahankar and balam, darpam, etc. And the more and more we identify, more and more we get convinced that I am Brahma. That itself is called Parabhakti. And through this Parabhakti we gain further conviction and direct experience of myself as Brahma happens. That itself gives moksha. Okay? So please listen to this again, contemplate, understand. If you have any questions, you may ask. Understand this properly. And more about this we will see in our class tomorrow. Okay? So till then you take care, be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy. do your work, do your sadhana, and we shall meet again tomorrow. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram, Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram, 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 Jaya Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम।